there, and welcome to yet another scintillating edition of the program CAC Weekly. Now, CAC Weekly is that weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and the achievements of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I am Amina Jibril. Coming up on CAC Weekly, stakeholders applaud CAC's presence at the 2023 NBA AGC. Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, CIPM6, CAC's validation of its certification, plus CAC reinvigorates staff training. All of this will be right after this break. Just stay with us.
The issue of mandatory columns and how to distinguish one beneficial owner from the other. Some jurisdictions have unique identifier for each beneficial owner. So that similar to what companies have, every company has its unique access. They have introduced the use of unique identifier for every beneficial owner. So that if you are multiple beneficial, all you need to do is once you enter that unique identifier, it will populate the details of that face across the different entities. So our register is new. So these are things that we are considering for the future. But we want to see how this can best serve first before moving to that hybrid issue of unique identifier.
Welcome back to the program. Now, over the years, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has accorded top priority to customers and stakeholders' engagement as a feed mechanism with a view to enhancing the quality of services in line with global best practices. Through that vehicle, the Commission had visited most of the geographic zones of the country and beyond to sensitize customers and stakeholders on its reform initiatives, as well as unveil new products and services. One of such forums where the Commission ensures active participation and sponsorship, amongst others, is the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, which is the largest gathering of lawyers on the African continent. The 63rd edition of the annual general conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, with the theme Getting It Right, kicked off at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja on August 25th, 2023 and ended on September 1st, 2023. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared the event open with a promise to work with constructive advice from the umbrella body of lawyers in the country. President Tinubu maintained that a bold decision had to be taken to build a strong nation and added that there was hope for a great Nigeria. The president said that the NBA was strategic in nation building, therefore called for cooperation and support of private sector operators, adding that it is a shame not to have electricity for most homes in Nigeria. He charged the NBA to let him know what he was doing right or wrong to enable him to do better for the growth of the country. In a goodwill message, NBA President Yakubu Mikel OON SAN described the 2023 AGC as a platform for knowledge exchange on the continent, bringing together world leaders, political icons, judges, leading lawyers, thought leaders, policymakers, and business icons, amongst others, to discuss and produce an implementation plan to foster the adoption of policies, standards, and practices that would lead to socio-political stability and economic growth, among others. Just like previous NBA AGCs, the CAC stand has continued to be a beehive of activity, and the hard-working technical crew of the Commission will continue to entertain customers' complaints and inquiries till the close of the event. The conference has in the past afforded the Commission the opportunity to engage customers and stakeholders on matters relating to its operations, which eventually served as a feedback mechanism. Icons in civil society were charged to not just discuss but produce an implementation plan to foster the adoption of policies, standards, and practices leading to socio-political stability, economic growth, sustainable development, and infrastructural development for accelerated regional and economic growth. Now, CAC Weekly reports that the commission, aside from being a corporate sponsor and operating a clinic, had over 20 of its staff participating at the conference as delegates, bringing the total number of attendees to about 17,000. We say a very big congratulations to the CAC as it continues to work hard to providing prompt and efficient services to customers in line with global best practices. Now moving on. The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management has urged the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, to grant special recognition to the Institute's certification. President of the CIPM, Mr. Olusegun Mojeed, stated this during a courtesy visit to the Registrar General, Alhaji Garba Abubakar. Olusegun Mojeed said the Institute was at the Commission to explore areas of collaboration as it was doing with other agencies, including the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, in line with its mission to promote excellence in people management through value creation, optimization of human potential, standardization, and regulation of human resource management. As the CIPM clocked 55 this year, Mojeed said it was set to launch a flagship program for the citizens to create more awareness and to draw examples from other countries such as the United Kingdom. Responding, the Registrar General and CEO of the CAC, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, challenged the CIPM to leverage the operations of sister bodies like ICSAN in a bid to rejig their operations, particularly within both corporate and government agencies. The Registrar General also admonished them to ensure a mechanism that will check the activities of quacks, as well as strengthen the membership drive to boost its revenue, among other things. CAC Weekly reports that the CIPM president was accompanied on the visit by Governing Council members, including the Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dasuki Arabi. And now moving on to training matters. In its continued bid to ensuring efficient services to customers, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, says training and retraining of staff in all sectors of its operations will continue to receive priority attention. The Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, stated this at a flag-off of a training titled Advanced Learning and Goal-Setting Training for Management and Senior Staff of the CAC held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Alhaji Garba Abubakar noted with pleasure that the CAC was blessed with highly talented and skilled personnel who work outside office hours to entertain customers' applications. Now, CAC Weekly reports that while 72 executive and senior staff attended the Uyo training, 50 staff drawn from various states' offices were being trained on effective communication and writing skills in Abuja. Similarly, 50 others received training on creative thinking and team building in Nasarawa State, while many others have been scheduled for various types of training before the end of the year 2023. The Registrar General had earlier stated the Commission's resolve to this year surpass both the 583 staff trained in 2021 and the 700 trained in 2022. Our esteemed viewers are aware that Nigeria is now a model for other African nations looking to build and implement their beneficial ownership register BOR, following CAC's successful launch of Africa's first BOR. Aside from the BOR, what books are companies required to keep in their day-to-day dealings? For answers to this and many more, let us join Adiola Tolulope Shonaike, the Assistant Director, RG's office, in our interview segment.
So let's go to money matters now.
Okay.
Accounting records and financial statements. It's not the same thing.
Well, accounting records, financial statements are part of accounting records.
Okay.
Right?
What's the difference?
Financial statement is just a part of accounting records. There are other things that will make up accounting records.
Okay.
But generally, companies are expected,
Okay.
and then limited liability partnerships to maintain accounting records.
Okay.
You know, they should have records that can give you a fairly accurate idea about their financial positions. You know, now these records are required to be kept in the registered office of the company. right? And then they are to be kept for at least 6 years from the date they were made,
Okay.
right? So if we're talking about accounting records or financial statements for 2020, the law expects that you maintain them and keep them available till 2016 and 2026, 6 years at least, right? But the practice always is that you keep them beyond that time because there can be issues at any time that you need to recourse to them.
Okay.
And in any event, the one you file with CAC, they are kept for us. I mean, public records are not just destroyed anyhow. No. We keep them. They are there for in perpetuity. If you want to see records of companies that were registered 60 years ago,
Okay.
and what they file, they are there. They file.
What are some of the expectations or the content in those records?
Well, the
Expected
records,
content.
the records you are keeping should, be able to tell what you do every day, how much you spend, how much you receive, and
So
then.
if I buy roasted corn, I'll include it there.
Well,
But
if-
today
if
I
you
bought
are-
roasted corn by the roadside.
If you are buying, we are talking about the company, not you.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
that
Yeah, the
individual.
company can buy roasted corn.
And so, which means it's part of your business, the
Okay.
business you do.
I can't hide, just take money from the company and buy roasted
No, if you take money from the company,
Yeah.
there should be a record that you took money from the company.
It's my company, I don't need to put it. I
No,
just want to buy
that's the
roasted corn.
difference. That's why we say corporate personality. Your company is different from you. It's not you,
Uh-huh.
and that's why there are those checks.
Okay.
You can't just go in and take money. The accountant will even give you. There must be a record that this company money went to this, and then this company
As
received
low as
money from
200
here.
naira.
Any amount at all. As long as it's an expense by the company, it must be recorded. It must be accounted for. Even if 200 naira comes to the company, it must be reflected. Because at the end of the day, you want to see the year, how much came in.
Okay.
200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira. When you have 200 naira in 2,000 places, you know how much it is.
Yes.
For instance, what you sell may be denominated in 200 naira pieces.
Okay.
And then somebody comes and orders 2,000 pieces. You are not seeing the 200 naira one.
One.
You are seeing 200 naira times 2,000. So you must be able to account for every piece. Did you sell it? If you didn't sell it, did it go bad? You take your stock, and then account for every piece of every item in the stock, right? That's accounting. So at the end of the day, for some levels of companies, you are expected to ensure that that account is audited by a professional every year, and that's what you call the professional, what you call auditors.
Yes.
So
That's the one everybody runs away from.
but they are the ones that will, you give them the records and then they're able to look at it and tell you that something is missing. No, this is not aligning with this. It's accounting records are very good if you keep them well for your business, for the integrity of your business. And even for you as the owner, because it helps you mitigate risk, right? With good audit, you can tell you that the way you are running this business, so these are risks that you have to put controls in place for, so that it does not happen.
Okay. So like predictable risks.
And then you can then start instituting mitigating controls, to reduce such risk, right? So you keep accounting records. Then when you talk about delaying and delivery of financial statements, now what we always had, where we've always had concerns is that people, because when you're talking about financial statements, at the end of the day, this should accompany what you call your annual returns, right? And annual returns are always considered. I say annual returns, the financial statements are considered at annual general meetings, right? So there's always this confusion about how they relate. The financial statements, the annual returns, the annual general meeting. So what you find usually will be that people equate annual returns with annual general meetings, right? But truth is that they cannot be equated, they are not the same thing, right? And they don't rise and fall together, so they are not coterminous at all. For each of them, there are prescriptions as to circumstances. For instance, there is prescription about as to when annual general meetings should hold, right? There are also prescriptions as to when annual returns should be filed, right? There are also prescriptions as to when financial statements should be laid before the company at general meeting. But what brings all of them together is that the law now says that when you are coming to file annual returns, you must accompany it with financial statements that were considered at annual general meetings.
Okay. So it's like I don't know.
Okay, so I'll try to
Okay,
unravel. Yes, I'll try to unravel it.
Yeah.
Right now, for companies, the law says a company must hold what you call annual general meeting.
Every year.
Thank you, for each year, except for the year it is incorporated.
Okay. So if I incorporate a company in 2023,
You
I'm
have
not supposed to
18
hold-
months.
Okay.
For instance, you are incorporating a company now. This is August.
Yes.
You have 18 months within which to hold your first annual general
So
meeting.
that's 2025.
So, which means even though you are incorporated in 2023,
Yeah.
if you don't hold your AGM in 2024, you have not offended the law. The
Until
law gives you 18 months, but not later than 18 months. So, your 18 months will be due in February 2025.
5.
So, that's why the law says, except for the year it is incorporated, or the following year if the law so prescribes. In this case, it covers it, right?
Yeah.
Now, subsequently, your annual general meeting must not be more than 15 months apart. Right?
From the first one.
From that first one. Everyone after it's only the first one that you have 18 months to hold.
Okay.
The next ones, you must not hold them more than 15 months apart.
Okay.
The only condition, the only circumstance where you may do that is when you write to the commission, CAC, and ask for extension of time. There may be reasons why you cannot hold within that time. Now, if you ask for extension of time, CAC can only extend for 3 months. So you find that the intention of the law is that even if you don't hold it within 15 months, you must hold it within 18 months. You can only extend for 3 months. And your application must come to CAC before the expiration of the initial 15 months. Right? Anything outside that, you must go to court to get an order. So, but you must hold one meeting. You can hold several meetings. Company meetings are called general meetings. Right? You can have several general meetings in a year.
Yeah.
But you must designate one of them as annual general meeting. As the name suggests, it's annual, is every year.
Yes.
Right? So there must always be one that you will call annual general meeting. Right?
Okay.
Now, that is for holding of annual general meeting. Right? If you don't hold it within time, there's also the sanction for it. Now, the law says a company must file returns annually. Right? Okay. Now, part of the things that will come with those returns,
Who will be your financial
financial statements. Right? Now, financial statements, by the provision of the law, I think section 381 or something. Now, 388 now. Financial statements are made to cover particular periods of the year. You know, maybe from the beginning of the year to the end. If your year end is December 31, your financial year will
Which
be.
company, most companies fall into.
So, which means that financial year is from January 1
To
to December 31. Now, your financial statement will be made up to 31st of December of each year, of that year. The law says that you have 9 months from 31st of December to which it is made to present and lay that financial statement before the company at general meeting. Right? Now, which means financial statements for the year 2022 will mean from January 1, 2022 to December 31. By law, those statements can still be laid before the company on or before 30th of September, which is 9 months. Right? Now, when it is laid before the company at the annual general meeting, it is after that annual general meeting that you now be looking at 42 days that the law now says you must come and file it with CAC.
Okay. So you have a window.
You have a window after the annual general meeting has been held,
Yeah.
you know, approving all these things. The law gives you that, okay, within 42 days, go and prepare your annual, what do you call it, return. Attach your statement and come and file. Right? So you will find that even though to this year, you can hold a meeting this year and call it the annual general meeting for 2023. Right? The financial statements you are looking at will be for 2022. Right? So any meeting you hold now, if general meeting, AGM that you hold now, for a financial statement that is ending on 31st of December, it's not out of time. It's still within time because the law allows them 9 months to present that financial statement before you now start calculating for the 2 days.
Okay.
So anybody who holds an AGM now regarding financial statements that was made up to 31st of December 2022, right? Anybody that holds AGM now to consider it is still within time.
It's not late.
It's not late. It's not out of time yet.
8 months into the new year.
You want that 8 months? That's where we always get the thing wrong. The year you're talking about is concerning the holding of annual general meeting. That meeting will consider what had happened, not what is happening.
Okay, what has happened there?
So the financial statement we are looking at is the financial statement, right, for the year that has been completed.
Okay.
Some people have their financial year end middle of the year, some the first quarter of the year. Some financial statements, their financial year are from April 1 to December to March 31. Some are from July 1 to June 30. Whichever the case is. Now the challenge always is in determining when the last AGM was held.
Oh.
If the AGM is now holding more than 15 months apart, you want to know, did you get the approval of the commission
For you to do that.
to hold outside 15 months, but before within 18 months? And if it's more than 18 months, you want to know, did you get a court order extending time? Right? But that does not invalidate the financial statements that I'm looking at. Right? If you present financial statements outside 18 months, there's also a sanction for it. And outside 9 months after it is made up, there's also a sanction for it. Now, all these things I'm telling you, right, underscores the need for a company secretary.
Okay, who now
A
advises
company secretary,
be able to
part
do all
of the
that?
training you go through
Yeah.
is understanding financial statements and financial regulations.
Okay.
So it's the secretary outside that says, no, a guy is not around. Do you want, okay, can you book an appointment?
No, I can't do that.
So that's why they are professionals.
So as we round up, what will you be telling company owners? Because a lot of people who listen to us and watch us today will say, I don't know anything these ones are talking about. I don't know which register they are even talking about. So if you're going to talk directly to companies owners, what exactly will you be telling them?
What I would advise company owners is, it's not enough to just want to register a company. Try also to make the governance document, prescriptions, the Companies and Allied Matters Act, your friend. You may engage a company secretary that will tell you this is this, but you should also be able on your own to research and get some things, And then always make our website your friend. It's if you cannot remember www.cac.gov.ng, simply go to Google and ask CAC website to bring it up. That would be the first result to turn up for you. Click on it to be on our website. There are resources to help. There are a lot of publications and releases there. And from time to time, like this kind of program, we try to enlighten people.
Yeah.
Particularly those who run companies on their obligations and what the law expects them to do. So they should also try and keep dates with programs like
CAC
program
Weekly.
like this.
Yeah.
We also from time to time engage at some other levels, operators and stakeholders. But please know your obligations under the law when you get into a particular area.
Okay.
The most important of them, know that you are required to file your annual returns once every year, and that once you have had your AGM, you are required to hold a meeting in a year that will be designated as annual general meeting. In that general meeting, you should look at, except you are exempted from the requirements of as small companies of holding AGMs. If you are not a small company, you must hold the AGM. So look at the financial statements and just come and file. When you file, what you should file is just 5,000 naira.
Okay.
No more.
Okay. So it's not just about having a company, but meet up with the
Yes, you
obligations.
must know the obligations of the company, and your duties as directors of companies, because you are the ones that the law will hold responsible for compliance.
Mr. Tolulope Adeola Shonake, many thanks indeed for your
Thank you
time,
very
as
much,
always.
Martina. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tolulope, for that great insight then. And that does it for this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. Remember, for comments and inquiries, you can please take advantage of our social media handles and call us on our call center. On Twitter, it is at CAC Nigeria 1. On Instagram and Facebook, it is Corporate Affairs Commission. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng. Our website is on www.cac.gov.ng. Call our call center on the number 07080629000. Join us again next week for yet another action-packed edition of the program CAC Weekly. Same time and same station. I am Amina Jibril saying bye for now.